Hi, everyone, and welcome to your new moon in Gemini reading. You do not have to be just a Gemini to watch this. It's Gemini energy, so it's for everyone. Now, let's start with what is Gemini's key phrase. I think. What does this mean, and where is it going to show up in your life this new moon cycle, and how can you use the Gemini energy to your advantage? Because new moons are all about new beginnings, new cycles, planting new seeds, bringing your wishes, your dreams, your hopes into manifestation, into reality, okay? Making it happen. All right, so what is the Gemini energy here? Gemini energy loves communication. It is talkative, anyone, anywhere, anything. It is social, like the social butterfly. It is the wordsmith, the teacher, the podcaster. It can be energetic and lively and hard to turn off at times. It is also an energy that lends to quick and intellectual thinking, and its motivation is centered around gathering and assessing as much information as possible. It is being concerned with knowing more and being so curious that it doesn't stop searching until the answer is found or figured out. And it must consider every option available before making the decision. However, I do want to mention that this fast moving energy, there can be a tendency for indecisiveness or being easily distracted. And on the shadow side, it can bring out the smarty pants or the know it all energy. So that is something to be aware of. So now that we know what the Gemini I think energy is, let's take a look at where it's going to show up for each zodiac sign. And like I said, or like I always say, rather, look for your rising sign first because it's going to resonate the most. But if you don't know your rising sign, watch for your sun or your star sign, okay? And if you want to find out your rising sign, leave a comment below and I will help you free of charge find that out. And if you want to book a personalized new moon reading based on your very own birth chart, I have a link to my website here on YouTube, okay? So that is it. Next up, we have you reading about the area, okay, that is going to be the best suited or have the most Gemini energy for you this particular new moon. And after that, if you feel like you want to do something different or manifest in a different area, or on top of what you've already read, there is a pick a card also with some advice and guidance in it too. So I will see you there at the very end. Thanks so much. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second part of your new moon in Gemini reading. And the reason we're doing the pick a card, if you're new here, is say you have read for your rising sign or your sun sign or both already, and you're like, you know what? I feel like I've got enough in that area. Good stuff coming into me. You know what? I feel like I may need to do a little more, do a little extra, try a different area in my life. You can pick one of these piles or both of them, and it will give you some other ideas of the areas that you can go in and look at, as well as just some messages and advice as well. So here we are. We have two piles. We have pile 1 with Rowan, the Rowan tree, number 34 or number 7 could be important. And we have pile number 2 with Goddess, number 14 or number 5 could be important to you. So pick whatever card, pile number, numbers, title on the card, whatever it is that draws you in, take that. And like I said, if both do, then watch for both. I will see you in your pile. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1, this Rowan tree card. Okay, I'm going to set it to the side and read it at the end. We'll see if it's just additional advice or guidance, or if there's actually some tie-in to what we're going to be talking about. Now remember here, this is about planting new seeds, right? Wanting to manifest, to bring to reality any dreams, wishes, hopes, things that are good for you, things that you know are good for you. We want to bring those in. And with the Gemini energy, it's all about the communication, how you're talking, thinking, how you interact with others, how you learn, okay? Trying to gather up as much information as you possibly can. A lot of different ideas. It's a very air energy, okay? So let's take that into consideration and get right into the cards. The first 3 I pull, I don't pull tarot with. We'll just take a look at them. Saturn. Okay. Boundaries, limitations, delays, responsibilities. It rules Capricorn. No longer Aquarius, the original ruler of Aquarius, but we're going Capricorn, 10th house here for you. So if you've already read for the 10th house, this would be a double down, okay? This is your message. There's definitely something you need to be planting seeds around your career, your responsibilities. Actually, look at that. It's right on the card, right? Responsibilities, your reputation, what you're known for, how you're making your mark on the world, any of your ambition. Where can you plant new seeds around that area in your life? And remember, it will be slightly different for all of you. And the ambition, if you are not in the workforce, okay, that could just be, what are your ambitions in life? What do you want to be known for? Okay, and we go from that perspective. So I'm going to put that card right here, and we are going to get the next one. So now we have this card, which is Gemini. We'll love that. Gemini is the 3rd house. Okay, so everything we just talked about with communication. All right. So if you've already read for Gemini, then you know what? This is a double down on that, because again, like I had mentioned in the intro here for the pick a pile, it's all about communication, how you think, learn, speak, interact with others, how you gather information. Did I say learn? I think so. It can also be here with the 3rd house of Gemini. It can also be about your siblings and extended family, aunt, uncles, cousins, and your immediate surroundings or community. So in what ways can you plant seeds? Where do you need a new start in any of those areas in your life? Okay, when it comes to the communication or learning or sharing, whatever it may be in your own personal situation. Now, let's get this next one. Surrender. I love it. I talk about this in the full moon. Go back and check out the full moons, or wait in a couple weeks. There will be a new one out. But that is surrendering. That is releasing and letting go. Maybe you're surrendering to a higher power, spirit, God, source, universe, whomever it is for you. And the reason you're surrendering and letting go what isn't serving you, or a problem you may have, because it can go both ways here, is because you need to make room to plant the seeds for this new stuff that you want to bring in that's good for you. The second part I said could be just a message for you. Just, you may come to this reading and this is your one nugget. Whatever you have that's burdening you right now, it's time to surrender. It's time to hand it over to Spirit, whomever that is for you, okay? So let's just put that card here. Now we're going to get into possibly some more areas where you can plant your seeds, have a new beginning, a new start here, pile one. Okay, you're very close to achieving your goal. Oh, nice. Maybe this is speaking to a seed that you've already planted, something that you've already been working on in any area of your life to start manifesting and bringing in the good. The number 26 or number 8 could also be important to you here. Okay, I'm just going to bring that. Sorry, guys, my camera stand, there's something wrong with it, and it keeps moving. It keeps sliding to the side. Okay, but let's get a tarot here. Hopefully it won't happen again. You're very close to achieving your goal. That is just a, you know what? Keep going, okay? They're saying, for some of you, this is proof positive that whatever it is that you're planting, that you're trying to do, you know what? It's working. So don't give up now. If you feel like you're at the end or you can't go on, yes, you can. Here we have the 8 of Pentacles. Keep up the hard work. That's what that card is all about, putting the work in. When you put in the hard work, you know this in life, you get the results, right? So don't give up. Keep up the hard work. And that is with any of these things. You know, when you plant a garden, I always talk about this, you have to water, weed, put fertilizer on, all of these things. That's what putting the hard work is in here, right? Perfection, I mean, I don't like to use the word often, but you know what? You want to make it as good as you possibly can, okay? So let's go. Right now, like I said, we have additional houses 3 and 10. Next card out is, Capricorn doubling down here. First quarter moon in Capricorn. Unleash your kindest self. Okay. We're talking about communication here, right? With this Gemini energy. How can you use that in any of these areas to learn, to communicate better with people? Is it in your community? Is it, at work? Is it at home? Wherever it may be, it's unleash your kindest self. So that's just a reminder. And because it's Capricorn, that could be at work. We did talk about that back here, right? And the other thing I didn't say about back here with the 10th was in Capricorn, boundaries, limitations. Maybe you need to set up some boundaries or limitations when it comes to your work. It could also be, like I said, personally in your family as well, but there needs to be some boundaries set, okay? And some responsibility taken. Now, let's get a tarot to go with this card here. The Empress. Love it. Nourishment. Well, with the Empress, she is, I like to say, along with the Magician, the master manifester, all right? She is just abundant. She's full of nurturing, caring, kindness, okay? It's tying into here and it's tying into planting your seeds, so to speak. She is able to take anything and grow it into something good. Not just for herself, but for others as well. So I love that. Take on her energy, especially with this unleash your kindness when you are dealing with other people. This Gemini energy is going to really come in. So be thoughtful, I want to say, about whatever it is that you're doing here in whatever area of your life, pile one. Now let's get the next card. Moonflower, take a risk. Yeah, don't be afraid. Okay? You may not, I almost feel like saying this could be, you're going to end up having to maybe speak about something or learn about something that you didn't think that you would have to do, okay, that maybe you were timid about doing or learning. This Gemini energy is going to propel you forward, I'm going to say, to do that, okay? If you're unsure, go back and listen at the beginning where I said, what is the Gemini energy, okay? Let's get a tarot with this, though. You know, do you need to speak up at work? Maybe that's it. We just voted here in Canada, and I'm not getting political, so no need for any of that talk, but in comment. But what I mean is we were able to have a vote, share our voice in the community, right? So it's that type of thing. Don't be afraid to share your voice or share what you learn with others. 9 of Cups. That's what's going to bring you the greatest joy here, okay? Because the 9 of Cups is about leaving stuff behind with that 8 of Cups and walking into the 9 where you are walking towards all your dreams and wishes and emotional fulfillment. What it is that makes you happy. What it is that brings you joy. When your cups are empty, we know. You know that you can't do anything if you're walking around with an empty cup, all right? So this takes you, by taking a risk, you start to fill those cups up. All right, let's get a card for another area. Okay, oh, Taurus. All right, excellent. This is about going back and looking at that second house, okay? And that is all about your money, your earned income, your financial responsibilities, your personal property, possessions, stuff like that, core values, how you value yourself. Maybe there's a change of heart that needs to be taking place there, a reevaluation, okay? Which is stop, take a moment, go in, reevaluate. What's your heart telling you? Okay, we're talking about planting new seeds, starting something new, letting go of that old stuff, right? That you know was holding you back, so you can bring this new stuff in. And again, number 26 could be important to you, or number 8. Do we have a duplicate 26? Yeah, that was a 26 too. So just for some of you, that could just be a, hey, yeah, this is your message type of thing. Or those numbers could mean something else to you. But you know what? There may be something that you need to go in and reevaluate so you can plant new seeds around that second house. Okay? So we have 2nd, 3rd, and 10th. And that was a double down on the 10th, okay? And, well, 3rd, we're talking about Gemini energy, so I just feel it makes it more powerful there just because. Now let's get you one last card before we go. Oh, and I want to read the Rowan card here. Let me just pull that out. What is this talking about? 34 or number 7. There is no need to fear, dear one. Protected you are, and protected you will always be. Maybe that's just something that you need to know when it comes to being able to speak out and share or learn or teach even, right? You are protected. Don't worry. They're going to help you out. You ask. Oh, this one wants to flip. I love this. You ask and they will help you. Ask Spirit, okay? I am ready for something bigger, better, and brighter. Well, that's what we're talking about here. New starts, okay? Something better, the good coming into your life, pile 1. Thank you for being here. If you feel that you need to take a look at pile 2, by all means, go into pile 2 and have a listen there, okay? Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile 2. Okay, this is the Goddess card. Number 14 or number 5 could be important to you. I'm going to read it towards the end, okay? So I'm just going to set that aside for right now. Let's get right into this. We're talking about that Gemini energy. If you have to go back and listen, that's fine, but I'll give you a little bit right here. We're talking about how communication, how you think, talk, speak, interact with others, right? How you teach, learn, how you gather information. All right. So we want to plant seeds here. We want to use that energy to help plant the seeds to bring the good stuff, your hopes, dreams, and wishes into reality, into your life here, pile 2. Let's get started. Whatever you've read for already, just apply that Gemini energy to it. But right now we have Pluto, okay, which is the ruler of Scorpio, which is the 8th house, okay? So anything to do with the 8th house, where do you need transformation? Hopefully, you've been getting rid of some stuff that's not serving you to bring in the new, which is planting the seed. Pardon me. But this also has to do with joint finances, your money, what you share with other people, okay? And as far as money goes, any debts you have, any inheritance you may have, what's hidden and sits right below the surface, and what's considered taboo. Where do you need a fresh start in any of those areas, okay? This is all about the 8th house, transformation, and rebirth. So, do you need a rebirth when it comes to some sort of communication, or how can you use all that communication, learning, teaching, Gemini energy to help this transformation to happen? All right. We also have here destruction and rejection. Finding stillness is like sailing up a river, chaotic at the beginning, peaceful toward the closure. Okay, yeah, because sometimes it's a little hard work to get going. Again, I always will say, you'll hear me say this over and over, think about when you plant the garden. The hard work's at the beginning, getting all the soil ready, getting the garden tilled, getting the manure, whatever else it is mixed in, all your fertilizers mixed in, getting it ready, getting the little plants. Maybe you started earlier in a greenhouse, getting everything ready to go into the garden, and then you nurture it and take care of it. This is no different, okay? So, I also want to say this is Taurus, all right? And Taurus is the 2nd house, so you can go back and read about the 2nd house. Anything to do, where do you need a new start maybe, or need to reevaluate some stuff with your money, your earned income, your financial responsibilities, any personal property or possessions. Maybe it's time to do a great big spring clean. Right? We're in May. Well, going into summer. So spring clean, right? And maybe it's time to get rid of that old stuff so that you can just freshen and brighten everything up, or even bring some new in because you're making room. So I like that. Release. Number 27 or number 9 could be important to you. Love this because we're all releasing in order to bring in the new stuff. Like I said, if you're, you know what? Oh, maybe it's some ways you deal and think around your joint finances as well as the transformation. Okay. Or maybe what's hidden below the surface you need to start talking about. I just wanted to say that. I popped back up there. And you're releasing and letting go of all that stuff that has been maybe bottled up inside. Okay. Let's continue on. We've got 2 houses already, which is wonderful. We have the 2nd and the 8th, which you can go in. So that's interesting. The 2nd is all about your own personal financial stuff. And the 8th is all about yours that you share with someone else. Okay? You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Well, now we have the 6th house, and I like that. Okay, that 6th house, which is all about your job, okay, your daily routine, any obligations, duties, and service maybe that you have for others or even for yourself, your family, and your health and wellness. You are good enough. So maybe there needs to be, for some of you, just the message, you are good enough. You needed to hear that today. Maybe there's been some self-doubt. Okay. For others, for the most part, it's going back and reading about that 6th house and wondering, where do I need a new start? Is it health and wellness? Is it my job? Do I need to switch up my daily routine? Do something, make it more productive? What would be better for me in the long run? Possibly. Temperance, it's getting the balance back in. Okay, that's the new start that you need here. For some of you, you are good enough. You need to heal and believe that. For others, this is all about the balance, the flow, getting things back in balance and back in flow, okay, when it comes to that 6th house. So what seeds can you plant to start making that happen? I just feel like I keep needing to say communication, communication, communication. Maybe for some of you, this could even be communication when it comes to your job, communication with your doctor about your health and wellness. Okay, that's additional. I'm going to leave that there. Let's go to the next card. Doubling down on the 6th house, you guys, look. Full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. Right? Speak now or forever hold your peace. That's what just popped into my mind. Take inspired action. Speak now or forever hold your peace. So again, I'm just going to pull a tarot with it because there could be something else about that 6th house. Like I said, it may be healing for some. It may be balance that's needed. Let's see what we have this time for tarot. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. And with the Pentacles, it could be a new financial beginning. It could be, again, new beginning. You're planting the seeds to bring in abundance, okay? Could it be money? Sure. Could it just be things in general, abundance, good things happening to you? It could be that too, but there's growth that needs to happen. And again, it has to do with, I'm loving this, maybe it is a new start to make more money with the job. I cannot tell you, but if this is resonating for you, this is a message coming in from Spirit to at least consider it. It's always your decision in the end. But there could be growth. Maybe for some of you, there's going to be growth at your new job, okay? Wherever it is you work. Let's see. It could even be here with new start, with the Ace of Pentacles and growth. I also want to say that this could be you figuring out, in service to others, right? You figuring out in service to others, or some duty or obligation that you have that you somehow could turn into maybe a job or financial gain for you. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. It will resonate different for different people. You may find one of these things will help you. You may find that there's a little message throughout it all for you, okay, in each set of cards. But remember, we have 2nd, 8th, and 6th house for you to go back and read about. Support. If you need support for your healing, if you need support for, maybe it's at your work, dealing with your own finances or other people's, whatever it may be, don't be afraid. Look, it's showing 3, I'm going to say goddesses here, women, and they all have their arms around one another. They are supporting one another. Okay, let's get a tarot for that. So I'm going to say if this is your message to support other people in some way, in any of the areas that we've been talking about, it can also be, don't be afraid to ask people for help. If you need help planting your garden, planting your seeds and helping them grow, then don't be afraid to ask. Oh, but look at this, you guys. Page of Wands, invention. The Page of Wands is young and curious and is just looking for new inspired ways and passionate ways to learn, to do. Take that Gemini energy and pour it into this Page of Wands energy and just go for it. But don't be afraid to ask for help from other people. Okay. Now let's get one more area for you to look at before we go, in case the three we've talked about isn't enough, or maybe they don't resonate with you. Okay, there could be one here, or you can always go back and look at pile 1. Oops. You guys, Virgo again. This is, I love it when this happens. This hasn't happened, I don't know. I can't even remember, but it feels like it's been a while, maybe the first of the year. I think it was back like the first of the year, the full and new moon readings. Like I would just get double down after double, like we've tripled down now. So Virgo, choose duties and responsibilities carefully, right? Because you're planting new seeds here. So be thoughtful, I think I had said earlier, about what it is that you want to do. Look, it's showing reorganization. Okay, it's time to switch things up a little bit. And again, in that 6th house, there's really something here, pile 2, that's very important for you around that 6th house that you need to, and if you've already read for the 6th house, or for Virgo, look, they are just, again, doubling down, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, last card before we go. Oh, and I want to read the Goddess card. Sorry. Here we are. Let me try to get that out without destroying everything. Goddess 14. Make sure to feel it in your bones, for you are what you believe. I love this. You are worthy. You deserve to have the best. You deserve to have abundance. You deserve to be able to decide in your life to plant new seeds, and I'm going to go after what it is that I want. You deserve that. Okay. And you are what you believe. So, for example, with that 6th house, health and wellness, if you don't believe that you deserve to be fit and healthy, emotionally, physically, mentally, you do. Okay, number 14, number 5 could be important. Number 3, love it, or 30. 3, the communication, right? That Gemini energy, 3rd house. You deserve this. You need to feel whatever it is that you're doing in your bones. This Page of Wands, passionate and inspired about it. Let's get one last card for you here. You guys, I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. Back here, you are good enough. Wow. I really wish you all the best here. Okay, whoever came to pile 2. Look, there is some healing. There is some work that needs to be done. I want to say around, especially for some of you, we'll say for some of you, around your health and wellness, emotionally, mentally, physically. Okay, you are worthy to be happy and healthy and to have new starts. Pile 2, thank you for being here. I will see you in one of my other readings. All the best.